Hi friends, it's Jessie here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. For today's video, I have my first weekly check-in of September, and I'm doing this a little bit late. Time got away from me. So our first week of September is actually going to be 12 days. We are going to track everything from the 1st through the 12th, and as that's a much longer week than the typical 7 days, we have a lot of expenses to talk about. So if you're interested in hearing about what I spent during the first 12 days of September and seeing me reconcile my budget, then just keep on watching. So typically when I sit down to do my budget updates, the very first thing I do is I write out my expenses for the week, all of the transactions that happened throughout the week. I've actually already done that for a couple of reasons. For one, it was a lot of transactions. And for two, when I tried to film it, apparently I forgot to hit the record button. So I don't have the actual process of me writing everything down and going through and categorizing everything, but I do have it here. I wrote out all of my expenses on this cute expense tracker from my Witch's Brew collection, which is my newest release in my Etsy shop. I released 2 collections of printables for October, one of them being this super cute Halloween themed collection, and the other is a really beautiful autumnal pop of plaid. So if you're interested in getting worksheets in those patterns or this gorgeous succulent pattern, I have all of these available in my Etsy shop. You can use the coupon code YTFriend to take 15% off your order. Get your printables, get them printed out, and get yourself ready. October will be here before you know it. Or maybe you're like me and you're a little bit behind on your September budget. You haven't really had a chance to write out your September budget. I got you covered. So yeah, these are all of the expenses that happened between the 1st and the 12th. Know that I took a majority of the cash that I had in my wallet from my cash stuffing on that day that I set up my budget and deposited it back in the bank. Cash, we've been using cash for some categories, but for the most part, we've just been using our card. It's been going, it's been going okay. So what I'm going to do is use all of these expenses that I wrote down and categorized and start filling in the actual columns in my budget. We'll take a look at week 1 here for our variable expenses and see how closely I stuck to my budget and if we are on track for the rest of the month. This video is going to go pretty quick, I think, without the expense tracking. Like I said, I tried to do it on camera, but I think I honestly just forgot to hit the record button. It's been that kind of week. Let me know if you're having that kind of week too. Okay, so before I do any of this though, I'm going to grab my envelopes for my 50 envelope challenge and go ahead and pick which envelope we're going to stuff this week, because I know that if I don't do it right away, I'm going to forget. So I've got my eyes closed. I'm just going to kind of flip through here randomly, and whatever I land on, that's the envelope we will stuff. If you're not familiar, this 50 envelope challenge is the way that I have chosen to save money for a car for my son, who's 14 now, but he'll be 16 before you know it. So now that I'm done rambling, we're going to stuff envelope number 14. So I'm going to get that written in here for our savings for the week, and I'm going to set this off to the side, and when I go and grab the cash for my cash envelope stuffing, I'll make sure to grab $14 to go in here. Yeah, the way the 50 envelope challenge works, I just wrote 1 through 50 on 50 different envelopes. I choose one at random each week and I stuff it, and at the end of the year I'll open them all up, see how much I've accumulated, and that'll go into a savings account for my son's car. It's just a fun way to save money without just like throwing 50 bucks into a savings account each week. All right, so that takes care of that. Let's go ahead and start filling in this monthly section. I'm gonna fold my planner in half here to make it a little bit easier. And we're gonna do it this way. So I went ahead and highlighted all of my bills in blue. All of the eating out expenses are in this neon yellow. Excuse me. Groceries in yellow. Gas is in pink. My spending is in purple. And any debt payments I made are in this darker pink. So we're going to start by filling in the actual amounts on some of our bills. And for that, I just need to look at the blue. So my water bill is the first thing here on my expense tracker. Looks like I paid $33.56. Find the water bill here. You can see I budgeted $50 for that. So we came in under budget overall for that category, which is always a nice thing. Second bill I have listed here is my lot rent, which was $5.53, which is exactly what we budgeted here. I'm going to actually just go down the list and check these off as I add them so that I don't get confused, because there's a lot of stuff to remember here. The third bill that I have listed here was the cable bill, and we paid $69 for that. I budgeted $70, so we're good to go there. Alright, you see here Planet Fitness came out at $40. I have 2 Planet Fitness things listed here. One of them was for the membership fee, which you pay once a year, and that was actually $39. Excuse me. I got a frog stuck in my throat this morning. My apologies. So yeah, that annual fee was actually $39, but we also were able to get Austin a membership, and his like sign-on fee was $1, so I just went ahead and added it in there for a total of $40. You will see that there is a second line item for Planet Fitness. This is for the monthly membership fee. I budgeted it at $25 because I thought that I was going to have to add Austin on as a guest for my membership, but we were actually able to get him a $10 membership with no contract or anything. I didn't think we'd be able to, but we were. So that's going to come in less than that $25, but that's not going to come out until later on this month. Okay, that takes care of that explanation. We're going to skip down to the rest of the bills here for Boost. I budgeted $120, and that is what we paid. Oops. I'm going to go ahead and write this out. I tried to write it in on the wrong line there. Okay, that takes care of Boost. Something that you actually don't see on my monthly budget, because I didn't think we were going to have to pay it this month, is Paramount Plus. Walmart Plus just started offering a Paramount Plus membership for free with the Walmart Plus membership, and we had been paying for Paramount Plus, so I figured we would just cancel our subscription and go ahead and get the free one from HBO Max, but the timelines didn't quite overlap. They didn't start offering the Paramount Plus membership until later on in the month after our monthly renewal was due. My husband loves Paramount Plus. He watches NCIS pretty much on a loop, so he didn't want to go without it. So we went ahead and paid it for the month of September, and then next month we'll be able to cancel that and get the free membership. But as I mentioned, I didn't think I was going to have to pay for that, so I didn't budget for it. So I'm going to put it in down here at the bottom. We didn't budget anything for it, but we did pay $9.99. I guess I could have taken this out of like my subscription sinking fund or whatever, but you can see we came in under budget for water. We'll likely come in under budget for some of these other categories, and hopefully it'll all work out. So that's Paramount Plus. HBO Max was $15.81. You can see we budgeted $16, so that came in under budget. We have a lot of bills that come out like right at the first of the month. And then the rest of them just kind of trickle through. So we took care of that. Lastly, for bills here, we have DTE, which we paid $203, and that is what we budgeted for. So that was all of our bills that came out in the first 12 days of the month. Really quick, I'm going to flip to debt payments here in this corner. Apparently I spilled something on my planner. There we go. We did make a couple of debt payments in these first 12 days. So we paid $150 for the golf cart, which is what we budgeted. And we paid $200 to our camper. So that takes care of that. We still have a Subaru payment and a couple of credit card minimum payments coming out, but they haven't come out yet. So we'll just be on the lookout for that in future budget check-ins. Okay. So that's everything. You can see we still have quite a few bills to come out for the month. Michigan Gas, our membership for Planet Fitness, motorcycle insurance, car insurance, YouTube Premium, and Netflix. The rest of these things here are our debt total, which we'll fill in at the very end of the month. We'll add together all of the debt payments we made, and that'll go in that line. The rest of these things are all of our variable expenses, which we're going to take care of up here. So that's the way the hybrid budget method works. That's this 2-page budgeting worksheet that I'm using here. It's my hybrid budget. I created it myself to be able to track things both monthly and weekly in order to cover all my bases and make sure that everything gets paid. So let's go ahead and talk about variable expenses. The categories are grocery, which covers all of my groceries and any household items. Eating out, which is pretty self-explanatory. Anytime we eat out, it comes out of this category. Gas for our car. Spending, which I'm going to break down into our 3 spending categories, which are my husband, myself, and my son Austin. Then we have miscellaneous. So I'm going to actually zoom you in just a little bit so you can see this a little better. And let's talk about our spending in the first 12 days. So if we look at my calendar, you can see that the week or the month started on a Thursday, the 1st. I have my calendar dated Tuesday to Sunday, or Tuesday to Monday rather, which is the great thing about an undated calendar. You can date it any which way you want. We started the 1st on a Thursday. We have tracked our expenses from the 1st all the way to the 12th, which is a Monday. During that 12-day period, though, we only had 1 payday. So that does make a difference for a couple of our categories, so keep that in mind. Okay, so starting with grocery then, you can see all of the items here that are in yellow were all grocery expenses. For the first part of the month, we were camping, and so there were a lot of little charges as we just got things we needed for our camping trip while we were camping. And those things add up pretty darn quick. I had thought we were doing pretty well with our grocery shopping for the first 12 days of the month, and really we are, but I thought we were doing better than we actually were. All of these little piddly transactions, $8.95, $5.26, $5, $2.85, they add up really quickly. So then once we got home from the camping trip, you can see I placed an Nespresso order, which Nespresso pods are not inexpensive, so that was a big charge there. We did a couple of smaller grocery trips. If you've seen my grocery hauls for September so far, you probably have noticed that I've been trying to keep my spending down. There also was an Amazon purchase here. I bought some household items from Amazon, some new drinking glasses and that sort of thing. That all comes out of our grocery budget as well. It's just the way we're doing it right now. In the past, we've done a sinking fund for that sort of thing, but we don't have one currently. So all of these transactions for the first 12 days of the month added up to $416.88. So that is what we have spent so far in September. And I just noticed that I actually skipped a bill down here. Michigan Gas came out at $67. I'll go ahead and fill that in here as well. That is what we budgeted. So easy to miss that since it kind of went off the page there. I ran out of space on my expense tracker. Okay. So that was grocery shopping, $416.88. If you look here in the monthly section, you can see that for groceries for the entire month, I budgeted $1,000. So let's see what we have remaining for our grocery budget then. Pull in my calculator. So if we take that $1,000 that we started the month with and we subtract the $416.88 that we have spent so far, that leaves us with $583.12. So we are about halfway through the month, a little less than halfway through the month, and we've spent a little less than half of our grocery budget. So if we continue on, you know, that should be okay. Typically we shop on Tuesdays, and there are 3 Tuesdays left in the month. So if we take that $583.12 and divide it by the 3 paydays we have left, which is the day I typically do my grocery shopping, that's about $194 a week. That's pretty average. We have some other things kind of mixed in there, any household items, if we run out of toilet paper or cat litter, all that comes out of there. My son's school lunches typically come out of there, so it'll be interesting to see if we can stick to that $1,000 or not. Right now we're on track, but it's only been 12 days. Still got a lot of month left, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, eating out. If you have watched my channel for any length of time, you know that eating out is our nemesis. There was a time that we ate out very, very infrequently. Like, it was a rare treat. It was something we did once or twice a month, and that was it. That time is long gone. It seems like we are eating out like every other day lately. And it's not for lack of grocery shopping or having things on hand to cook. It's just we're out and about a lot with, it's soccer season right now. We've got practices and games at dinner time almost every night. We are busy running Austin back and forth to work. There's just a lot going on in our evenings. And we're not really yet into the fall weather where it's like soup and stew and crock pot season. So it's difficult. Like, we're not getting home until 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night sometimes. It's like, do we really want to cook? So it's like poor planning / just being super busy. So yeah, we ate out a ton in the first 12 days of the month, and that's probably going to continue to be the case right up through until the end of our crazy busy season, which should happen by the end of October. So come November, we'll be less busy, and also we'll have less, more cooler weather. We can do more crock pot things and be able to think ahead a little bit easier. But for now, it's just the season of life we're in. We're going to buckle it up and just ride the roller coaster. That being said, considering all of those things I just mentioned, we've gone through more than half of our eating out budget. And I expect that we are probably going to go over this $200 eating out budget. Now, last month, I did really well with eating out. We actually came in under budget with our eating out category last month. And I thought it was going to be the same again this month. I was very confident when I wrote that $200 eating out money. But like I said, Austin started a new job. That has played a part in our craziness. We were celebrating the end of summer and the beginning of the school year, and so enough with the excuses. We spent $135.70 in eating out for the first 12 days. of the month. And I shouldn't try to talk and write at the same time. So, yeah, it is what it is. We're going to be mindful of that, but I can tell you that, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I started out with $200 in our eating out budget. We spent $135.70. That left $64.30 remaining. I can tell you we're tracking up until the 12th, but today that I'm filming this is actually the 15th, and we've already spent more than that on eating out. So as of the middle of the month, we are already over budget for eating out. So we're going to try in the last few weeks of the month to not eat out. I don't know if it's reasonable to expect that, but we'll kind of see. We'll see how it goes. That's all we can do. Okay. Next up then we have gas. Gas on my expense tracker here is this pink color. You can see we spent a total of $88 in the first 12 days of the month. We had a gas fill up on the 3rd, and then we had to get gas again on the 11th. So that's pretty average for us. Gas prices being what they are. You know, gas is not something that you can really compromise on. If you have to get somewhere, you have to put gas in your car. It's not like with eating out or spending money where you can kind of say like, okay, I'll just do without that for the rest of the month. You have to fill up your gas tank. So we don't have a lot of control over that. That being said, we're on track with our gas budget. We have a total of $250 in our gas budget for the month. We've spent $88, so we still have $162 left, which is, I think, more than reasonable. All right, this is where we start talking about spending money, and that's where I flipped to my calendar and I showed you guys that we just had one payday. In those 12 days, that's where that comes in, because we pay out allowance on payday. So, my husband got his $60 on payday. So that is what he has spent so far. Now, he may still have some of that $60 in his pocket, but I'm not going to chase him down and find out. It's out of my budget. I gave him the cash, so he's good to go. We'll just say that he spent $60. For myself, I've been tracking my spending, so it's a little bit easier to know exactly what I've spent of my spending money. And you can see here I've spent $21.19 of my spending money so far for the month. As for Austin, he got his $25 allowance in cash, so we just consider that spent. So, of the spending money that we budgeted for the month, which was $500, we've spent $106.19 total. That means that for spending, we still have $393.81 total remaining for the month for spending money. But if we're going to break down what we each have remaining, we got to do a little bit more of a complicated thing. So we get our spending money on paydays, which are Tuesdays, well, except for this day, which was a Wednesday because of the Labor Day weekend. So we have a total of 4 paydays for allowance in the month of September. My husband gets $60 each month, or each week, I'm sorry. So he gets a total of $240 for the month, minus the $60 I've already given him. That means he's got $180 remaining. I myself get $40 per week times 4 is $160, minus $21.19 is $138.81. So I spent less than my $40 for the week, which I'm going to celebrate because I never do that, so feeling good about that. And then for Austin, the math's a little bit easier. He gets $25 per week, so he gets $100 total for the month, which means he has $75 remaining. And then if we add up what each of us has remaining, we should get that $393.81. So let's make sure. 180 plus 138.81 plus 75 is $393.81. So yay, math. Okay. Last but not least, we have miscellaneous. For miscellaneous, I don't have anything on, my apologies, that was my phone. I don't have anything on my expense tracker because I actually did my my miscellaneous money in cash, and I stuck with that. So for that, we need to go into my wallet and see what I have remaining. I put $50 in there at the start of the month because for miscellaneous, we had a total of $200 for the month. Divide that by 4 weeks in the month, $50 each time. And if I flip to my miscellaneous, just pulling out my ID here so I don't tell you guys where I live. My miscellaneous envelope, there is $20 remaining in there. So of the 50, I spent 30, and that was on various soccer games. We have to pay admission of $5 each when we go to soccer games. I often pay for my son's girlfriend to go with us, so it goes quick. Also any concession stands, that sort of thing. So we've spent $30 of our 200. So if we subtract 200 minus 30, we have $170 remaining in miscellaneous for the month. So not too shabby. All right, let's go ahead and get a total of what we spent in variable spending for the first 12 days of the month. So $416.88. Can you guys see? Just got you off frame. I'm not paying any attention. My apologies. $135.70 plus 88 plus 60 plus 21.19 plus 25 plus 30. We spent $776.77 in the first week of the month, the first 12 days. And what we have remaining, $583.12 plus $64.30 plus $162 plus $180 plus $138.81 plus 75 plus $170, $1,373.23 remaining. And if I got any of that math incorrect, I'm certain you guys will correct me because you guys are super great about catching all of my mistakes. Okay, so the last thing I need to do then is just pull out the cash for week 2. The only thing I'm going to pull out in cash is our spending money and our miscellaneous money, and then also that 50 envelope challenge money. So let me grab a cash breakdown and figure out what I need to pull out of the bank. Okay, so I pulled out a cash breakdown in the sunflower power pattern. Apparently we're mixing and matching this month. This is what I happen to have printed. No sense in wasting it. So let's go with writing out the categories that we need cash for. So we said spending money and miscellaneous. So we're going to do my husband's spending money, my spending money, Austin's spending money. We're going to do miscellaneous, and we're going to do the 50 envelope challenge. So for my husband, he gets $60 per week. I get $40 per week. Actually, do I want to do mine in cash? I've been just using the card for mine, so maybe we won't do my spending in cash. Let's just pretend like that didn't happen. I can always pull it out in cash if I decide I want it in cash, but for now I think I'm just going to leave it in the bank and use my card. For Austin, we're going to do $25 in cash. For miscellaneous, we're going to do $50. And for the 50 envelope challenge, we chose envelope 14, so that's what we're going to pull out in cash. So we're going to do 3 20s for my husband. We're going to do a 20 and a 5 for Austin. For miscellaneous, we're going to do, I think, some 5s and 1s because that's pretty much what we've been needing for the concession stand and for soccer game tickets. So Let's do $40 in fives. So that's how many? 8, right? 8 fives, and then 10 ones. Okay, and then for the 50 envelope challenge, we're gonna do 14, so we will do 1 10 and 4 ones for that. So we're gonna do 14 ones for a total of $14. We're gonna do 8 9 fives for a total of $45. We're gonna do 1 10 for a total of $10, and 4 20s for a total of $80. So let me really quickly add up everything we need to pull from the bank. 60 plus 25 plus 50 plus 14 is 149. And let's just make sure that this total matches this total. 14 plus 45 plus 10 plus 80 is 149. Which you can't see. There you go. So I'm going to run to the bank, pull out $149 in these denominations, and I'll be right back to stuff my envelopes with you. All right, my friends, we've reached the final segment of my budget check-in video, the cash stuffing. So I went to the bank, I grabbed out the cash. I'm supposed to have $149, so let's just go ahead and make sure that that is what I have. We'll count it out. So we have 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 95, 100, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. All right, so we have the cash in the proper denominations. I'm just gonna lay it out here. Hopefully keep everything nice and in frame. No, I can't if I zoom you out just a touch. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull out my cash envelopes from my wallet just to make it a little bit easier to stuff them. So I have spending and miscellaneous. And then I also have my 50 envelope challenge, which is at the bottom, but we're gonna start there and we're gonna add $14. So that's my 10 and 4 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the $14 into my envelope here. And I will get that punched and put in the little binder where I keep all of my envelopes for the 50 envelope challenge. And at the end of the year, we will empty all the envelopes and count up all the cash and see what we ended up with. So that's that. I'm going to set that off to the side. I'm going to go ahead and highlight this so that I know that I filled it. And we're going to go ahead and start at the top then with my husband's spending money. I'm going to put my husband's spending money and Austin's spending money in the spending envelope. Sorry about that, you guys. I just got a phone call. So, what was I saying? Oh, the spending envelope. I'm going to put my husband's money in here as well as Austin's money in this envelope here that matches the Sunflower Power collection. I do have paper cash envelopes in my Etsy shop as well if you're interested that match all my collections. But I'm going to put the cash in here. It's not going to stay in here though. I'm going to give it to them when I see them later on tonight. So, Eric gets 60. So we'll do 20, 40, 60, and then Austin gets 25, so the other 20 and the 5. This will go in there, it'll go in my wallet till I see them this evening, and then I'll pay them out. They'll be excited, I'm sure. Well, I know Austin will be. He has been saving up a lot of money as of late. Okay, that takes care of that. We'll go ahead and cross those off. 1, 2, and last but not least, we have miscellaneous, which should be $50. That should be what I have left here. 8 5s and 10 1s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and should be 10 1s. 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. That's going to go into miscellaneous with the $20 we had remaining for a total of $70 in miscellaneous. And this is going to be a fat envelope. All right. So we'll go ahead then and mark that as stuffed. All of these guys are going to go back into my wallet with the exception of this one. That's going to go into the safe. And that is going to do it for my budget check-in for the first week of September. It was a long week. I'm excited to go back to just a 7-day week next week. So I'll be back next week with my week 2 budget check-in. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. That really helps out my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. I post new budgeting and lifestyle content here on my channel every single week. I'd love to have you come back. You can click the notification bell and you'll get updated every time I post a new video. I try to post Monday through Friday, but it doesn't always happen, so that notification bell is a great way to stay on top of my upload schedule. Make sure you check out my Etsy shop if you're interested in any of the worksheets that you saw here today. Don't forget to use that 15% off coupon code, and I will see you guys in my next upload. Bye, friends!